Hello everyone, welcome to the Eurobest Awards live briefing. My name is Jamal, I'm from the Eurobest and Cannes Lions Awards team. Thank you very much for joining us today. If you do have any questions, can you please leave them for the end, and we'll have a little Q&A session and be able to answer all those sort of burning questions for you. So today we're going to be going through what actually is Eurobest, tips and advice on how best to craft your entry and what the jury are looking for. It's worth noting that these bits of information are useful for Cannes Lions as well and any other award show you're thinking of entering into. And a brief look at some of the trends and themes noted in 2020. But what is Eurobest? So Eurobest is our European regional award show. It is the biggest in Europe rather. For the past 33 years, the Cannes Lions Awards team has produced Eurobest, so you can expect the same sort of stringent judging process and high standards. We are now also celebrating our regional success globally on our global platform, which is Lions Creativity Love the Work, and alongside our Eurobest website as well, so be sure to check those out. In 2020, we had 31 entries from all sectors of the industry. If the work was made by a company based in Europe or ran solely for the European market, it is eligible into the Eurobest Award. We have the pleasure of hosting jurors from all corners of Europe, covering all aspects of the creative landscape, bringing unique insight from both their discipline and their region. And in 2020, we had winners from 23 cities, showing how widespread creativity really is within the region. But how about your story? A look back at the last 2 years of Finnish trophy wins. We have a total of 23 trophies awarded, showing the consistency of creativity from Finland. That translates into 1 Grand Prix, that's 3 golds, 5 silvers, 12 bronzes, and 2 innovation awards. In 2020, we welcomed the social media agency Curio strategy director and partner, Eli Tuominen, to our diverse jury of 70 experts rather, judging 12 different disciplines, including brand experience, creative data, film and film craft, to name a few, showing the breadth of expertise within the region. Some of your highlights show that you won 4 brand experience awards last year, and that was 1 gold, 1 silver, and 2 bronzes. In 2018, you won 13 awards across 7 different awards, making Media Award the one that you won the most in. And lastly, you entered 97 different entries into 2018, and in 2019 and 2020 you entered in 114 entries, showing the consistency of your entries and how that's translated to some really impressive results for you. Finland has been consistently producing a highly creative work, and here we can see just 3 examples. So we have the Telecollection, Rentafin, and Block Wish. These pieces of Finnish creativity not only did well at Eurobest, but also went on to do well at the global stage at Cannes Lions. That's something you should really be proud of. We have produced a number of case studies interviewing the creative teams behind winning work. You can find these on our website. They give us a behind-the-scenes look into the issues and challenges faced before launching a work and give us key insights into what went into that winning work. So it's clear that you're producing highly creative and innovative work. But let's look back at how you might sort of increase that conversion rate just a little bit further. We'll get into tips and advice from the jury and past winners and people who know how to win a lot. And this is again applicable across all award shows you may be entering into. And then we'll also touch upon sort of what's new for Eurobest this year. Awards are important, but it's not really about the award. It's about what the award does for you. Awards are not the end, but the means to attracting and retaining both clients and talent, and more importantly, cultivating a truly creative culture. Even just entering galvanize your agency or company to believe they not only can, but should be sort of competing at this high level. Of course, as with anything in this industry, you need a strategy to complement your creative, to really give you the best possible chance of winning. Like Rothko say, get a process going. and make it a year-round process at that. So you have two elements here. We have people and entries. So the entry coordinator should be somebody who's with connections across all departments and with a main point of contact between us and the agency. This should be somebody who's there for the whole process and not just there for the interim. Another great idea is getting your top creatives together in a creative council to look at what you're entering and, more importantly, why. Past jurors can offer insights into what they were looking for when they were judging and great ways to really elevate your entry. Knowing your rep is a gateway to becoming a juror yourself, as all nominations must go through them. Getting your strategists involved is great. So thinking strategically definitely does help if you don't fall into the numbers game and try to sort of play the system. It's worth noting that the jury aren't forced to give Grand Prix golds, silvers, bronzes, or shortlists per category. They look at the award in and of itself and decide where the work has creative merit. Category relevancy is extremely important, as it can be the difference between a shortlisted or awarded piece of work. And lastly, learning from the winning work is vital in replicating success. You can find the winning work on our Eurobest website and also on our subscription-based platform, Love the Work. So here we can see all of our awards. There's 24 of them, and each of them are comprised of around, there's 400 categories in total. So there's a lot here. So definitely get in contact with us if you do have any questions. And a dig down into the architecture of the award. So at the top end there, you have the award itself, which is design in this case. And then you have a section, which is a sort of a grouping of different categories. And at the lower end there, you have the category itself. And that's what you'll be entering into. And that's what you've got to really pay a keen sort of attention on when entering. And when it comes to healthcare, you will select your category and then your medium sort of just after that. Creative Business Transformation is one of our new awards. This new award recognizes creativity that transforms businesses beyond just communications. We look for work that creates long-lasting transformations of core business functions and customer service. Brands are asking more and more of their creative partners than they used to, ask them to work on things like consumer service to employee engagement, all the way to reimagining entire business models, the type of work that really pushes business forward. Let's look at one of our gold winners from the Creative Business Transformation inaugural year at Cannes Lions to have a look at the work that is eligible into this award.
Farming is no longer about quality. It's about producing more, faster, cheaper. Most farmers would love to grow natural food again, but we're on a treadmill that we can't get off of. Transitioning to organic takes 3 years of significant investment, and you might not have a buyer at the end of the road. We sign today, and it guarantees us a buyer for organic product in 3 years.
Contract for Change guarantees farmers who sign today that Michelob Ultra will be their first organic customer 3 years from now when the organic transition is complete. That certainty of having a buyer removes the biggest barrier to going organic.
During the 3-year transition, our production drops, so we lose money.
This is another big reason why only 1% of farmland is organic. The contract includes a commitment from Anheuser-Busch to buy the crops during the transition for its yearly production of non-organic beers at a 25% higher price, so the farmers keep the same income. Finally, the contract includes in-depth training through the most important agricultural organizations.
All Idaho farmers, if you've ever considered going organic, please call us. Together, we can change the future of your farm.
Michelob Ultra Organic.
Michelob Ultra.
That is helping organic farmers.
Once the farms are organic, they can not only grow ingredients for Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, but also for hundreds of other brands.
It's beautiful to see life come back to the farm again. That's why I became a farmer.
That was Contract for Change by AB InBev by FCB Chicago, which took home the silver and gold line for creative business transformation. Previously, we had our social categories within the digital award, but now they have their very own dedicated award. Entries into this award should demonstrate how levels of engagement, social reach, and creative use of influencers led to commercial success. As you know, the Creative Effectiveness Eurobest Award celebrates the measurable impact of creative work. And for work to be eligible, it must have either have been shortlisted or won in the past 3 years. That's 2018 through to 2020. What is new is that we've refreshed the award for this year by completely rethinking and regrouping the categories into 3 sections to more accurately reflect the current and future working practices. These sections are sectors, market, and brand challenges and opportunities. The entry paper has evolved into an online submission with expanded questions and opportunities to provide different types of results. So gone are the days of the 3,000 word entry paper. As mentioned on this slide, the culture and context categories can be found across 10 Eurobest Awards. The culture and context section celebrates work with specific focus on sort of local campaigns, cultural insights, and breakthroughs on a budget. For 2021, the culture and context section includes a brand new category, which is market disruption. This category celebrates work that has creatively embraced and adapt and adopt approach to their work in response to either local, regional, or even global issues. The Digital Eurobest Award has been retired, but not to worry. Work that would have been entered into digital can now be found in sort of brand experience, creative e-commerce, social influencer, digital craft, and film. If you are struggling to find out where your work is relevant now, the Digital Award has been retired, please get in contact with us and we'll be more than happy to direct you in the right direction. And now we have our eligibility period. So that's from the 1st of September 2020 all the way through to the 31st of October 2021. For your work to be eligible, over 50% of your work must have taken place within that eligibility period, unless it's a campaign of executions or a piece of work with several different executions rather, and all of those pieces must be within the eligibility period, as indicated by the green dots there. And now we have our entries timeline. So we opened for entries on 19th of August. The 24th of September has gone past and we're even into October now. Don't know where the time has gone, but here we are. And next week is our final deadline of the 22nd of October. Now, if you're struggling to make the deadline, please get in contact with us towards the end of this week and we'll be able to sort of help you as best as we can to ensure you're able to enter. It is worth noting that now, because judging is online, our judging timelines have been adjusted slightly. So we won't, if we are able to give sort of more time, it won't be as much time as some of you are sort of accustomed to historically. Now let's get into crafting your entry. The best place to start is downloading our entry kits. It's like an entries Bible in 3 parts effectively, which explains all the categories, all their requirements and the rules, and has also sample questions from the online entry form. And this will also help with the written fields of your entry, which is very important in the later stages of judging. The case form. In many ways, it's the face of your entry. People will often think about their case films in a different way. They've stopped thinking of them as something to be made after a campaign and started thinking of their case films as sort of mini documentaries to be thought of and produced alongside the production of your work. And this gives it multiple purposes. You can use it on your website, you can use it on your social, or even your portfolios, as well as awards. And by the way, not all awards do require you to have a case film. This will be listed in entry kit 1, but if you do have any questions, again, let us know. We'll be able to sort of assist you with that. So top tip for case films, keep it short. Just to provide a bit of context, the jury can watch upwards of 250 case films a day before getting to their final shortlist. So that's definitely a lot of viewing time. There's a 2-minute limit, and this is not a goal. If you can make a concise, short, and to the point case film, then the jury will really, really appreciate it. And here coming up, we've got a great example of that.
It is VAR, video assistant referee.
Is VAR actually ruining football?
VAR isn't working.
I really dislike VAR. Says more than any words can do at this time.
What they do have are the blinds, the video assistant referees, which will make that clear.
And the use of technology here. That is absolutely phenomenal. Surprises you.
And that was VAR Discount by NordDDB Stockholm, which won a Grand Prix in creative e-commerce and 2 silvers in direct and entertainment.
It is VAR.
Coming up again. And so the next tip is keep it simple. This is your baby, and we understand that there's a tendency to want to include every bit of information, but it's important you take a fresh perspective. Take a step back and reimagine your work for a brand new audience and really distill it down into its core elements. And be clear about what you've done. Assume no prior knowledge of your work or anything to do with your entry. If possible, get another person to view it, preferably somebody outside the industry. And if they can sit down and watch it and understand everything that you've done, then you're definitely on the right lines. So why do some pieces of work win locally but not globally, and vice versa? It's largely due to cultural context. Explain how you arrived at insight and why this was so relevant. The jury is international, so English isn't always their first language. So don't create a case film just aimed at the English. Try to explain it to somebody from sort of Georgia or Sweden or even Russia, because more than likely those are going to be the people in the room. Make use of subtitles and introductory slides, and other helpful guides are also really useful. Time and time again, our juries have fed back to us that category selection and relevancy is so crucial. And with over 400 different categories across 24 awards, like I've said before, it is easy for it to get somewhat sort of bewildering, but definitely use us. We are here 24/7 to help you. What we can do is, if you send us a piece of your work or like a case film or even like a written submission, just so we understand what you've done, within 48 hours, we can give you a long list of where your work is eligible. And it's a really helpful tool that a lot of our entrants really do appreciate. So there is a tendency for case films to become formulaic. We see the same narrative beats over and over again. So don't be afraid to tell a story. The jurors are people too. So make something that's entertaining and memorable, and it will really stay with them. People remember both sort of narratives and characters. So use a protagonist, weave it around a compelling narrative, and approach your work more like a screenwriter as opposed to a copywriter. The all-important results. Depending on the award, results can count up to 30% of the overall mark. So be honest, provide quantitative and qualitative figures that jury can refer to if needed. Make sure they're robust and clear and relate back to original objectives to illustrate effectiveness. Do not retroactively try to fit impressive results back to objectives, as a jury can definitely tell. And consider the jury that you're entering your work into. Like a PR jury are going to be looking for PR results, whereas a design jury are going to be looking at design effectiveness. And lastly, customizing your write-ups. If you enter the same piece of work across multiple awards, consider the judging criteria for each award. The criteria are different for each award, and the jury casts their scores for each criteria in the initial rounds. Some juries cast only 1 mark, and other juries cast multiple marks per entry based on this criteria. The criteria can be found in entry kit 1. However, if you can't find it for whatever reason, speak to a member of the team and we'll be able to let you know how the jury will be judging your work. So here are top 10 tips for entering into awards. Think beyond awards. What can the awards do for you, your agency, or your company? Start early, thinking about awards before the awards season starts. Category selection all the way through to considering judging criteria are all important points that will help you craft the best possible entry. And lastly, submit early. If you submit early, it'll give us sort of more time of your work, and we'll be able to sort of effectively process it before the jury see it. So once all the work has been awarded and the teams are out celebrating their success, we study all the submitted winning work to find out trends and themes of the year. Let's look back at a couple of themes from the 377 shortlisted and 157 awarded pieces of work. All of these and much more can be found in the European Creativity Report. The first trend from 2020 was responsible consumerism. We are seeing brands accommodate this at every consumer touch point, from the products they sell to the services they provide, all the way to the way they operate. This theme is woven throughout the winning work, with a greater emphasis on sustainability, source materials, and shift towards upcycling and increased transparency around more ethical practices. Work like the Innovation Grand Prix, the 2030 Calculator for Duconomy by Farm Stockholm, which was launched to democratize the carbon labeling and facilitate like-for-like comparisons between products. The PR Bronze winner, the most CO2-friendly route for Neste by Hassan and Partners Helsinki, drove behavioral change by showing consumers how everyday smarter routing can save millions of tons of CO2. Or the final example we have here, the Digital Craft Grand Prix Black Friday resale for IKEA, which demonstrated the brand's commitment to sustainability by launching a digital campaign featuring only IKEA products found on Denmark's biggest second-hand marketplace. Our second trend we will touch upon today is humanizing data through design. We saw a new wave of data-driven design helping to develop a more human approach to the way we intersect with information and technology. Work like the Digital Craft winner Hack Your Future Behind the Source by 72 and Sunny Amsterdam, which uses source code of online pages as a channel to challenge assumptions and preconceptions around hiring refugees in the Netherlands. And the creative e-commerce winner, Heartbeats for Sneakers by Klarna Stockholm, which took an innovative approach to asking customers to prove they weren't automated bots using BPMI technology, creating a joyful and unexpected shopping experience. And finally, Printed by Parkinson's from InOcean Worldwide, Berlin, which took home the Creative Data and Design Grand Prix. They created a collection of striking 3D printed objects by recording the tremors of Parkinson's patients alongside their personal journey with the disease, which leveraged the motive power of data visualization and storytelling. So while you're at the Eurobest.com website downloading our all-important entry kits, make sure you do check out all these sort of themes and much, much more. The 2020 European Creativity Report is out now, but the 2021 report will be out shortly after the festival. And don't forget your local representative is here to help you with all things Cannes Lions related and Eurobest related as well. Each year, representatives identify their country's best creative talent, nominating them for places on the Cannes Lions and Eurobest juries, ensuring the most qualified and balanced jury panels are selected. Representatives also organise local competitions to select the budding industry stars to go forward to take part in the 7 Young Lions competitions that take place live at the Robert Hatchell Academy in Cannes. And lastly, if you didn't get a chance to catch everything Cannes Lions related, they'll host screenings for you to catch up on everything you may have missed. And here is our lovely team here to help you with everything you need, from Eurobest to Catalans and all our other regionals. We do book one-on-one workshops as well. So we look at your work quite separately from everything else, and we're able to sort of look at where your work is eligible and why you would think of selecting certain categories. We're more than happy to help with that. It's more like a clinic session, more focused as well. I'll leave a second here for you guys to take down all these details.